mask is blurring you. Let's see you. It's okay. Let's see. It's all right.
It's okay.
So that we can hear you well.
Yeah, you can hear me. I'll speak loud.
Okay. So
Yeah.
tell us, what is your story?
Yeah. So what really happened is that
We
my
can't hear you well. I'm telling you, this mask is blocking. Just remove the mask. Leave your head tie on, but remove the mask.
Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Or move it down so that they can hear you clearly. Your story is
okay.
very important for them to hear.
No, yeah. Don't hear me very
Don't
well.
worry. You know what? Let me call you. Let me see how your face is. Because even I am struggling to hear you. And if they don't hear you, you lose the essence.
Now,
Do you
can you hear me better?
understand? Much better now.
Okay. I think this is better. Okay. It's closer.
Yes. So go ahead. Let's hear your story.
Yeah. So I've been okay. So I've been married twice before. My first marriage was in Nigeria, and I was very young. And that marriage was more of like an arranged marriage. And after that marriage failed, I relocated to the United States, and then I got married again. And that marriage failed. And then I remained single. And I was raising my kids. Single motherhood, like everyone knows, is very, very difficult, very challenging. As much as I don't encourage anyone to remain in a marriage when they're being, abused, I cannot take away, from the fact that it's difficult raising kids by yourself. And so I lost my mom, and I would return to Nigeria for her funeral. When I returned to Nigeria, I met my brother's friend. I just thought that my brother had this, his childhood friend. They went to high school together. They were in the same class together. And in high school, he lost his parents. He lost his mom and his dad. And so, I mean, we all know how that goes after that. When you lose your parents, how life becomes, And so he and my brother are very close. And I saw that, he would, like, during the funeral, like, he came to visit us, and then he slept in the living room. And I remember asking my brother, I was like, this is your friend, oh, he's a graduate like you guys are really close, but why do you like we have guest rooms in the house, like why would you allow him to sleep in the living room? He's like, oh shoot, that he would just like talk down on him or whatever. And then that started kind of like catching my attention. And then when we would go out with him, he would leave his friend in the car. Like his friend would drive him out, and then he would leave him in the car and then go in, for meetings, hours and hours. And he's still, keeping his friendship. I was very inspired by that. And then, we got talking and we got closer. And then, we shared each other's stories, and then we fell in love. And then when we fell in love, I found that he had never been married before, and he never had kids before. And I was terribly scared. I was like, oh my goodness, I've been married twice already, and then when I told him, he was like, he didn't care. He liked what he saw, and then we connected at, on a very deeper level, and, he would like to be with me. And then he sought permission from my brother to ask me out, and then my brother gave his permission, and then we started dating. And after we started dating, my brother would, it was just a very uncomfortable situation, to be honest with you, because like my brother was still, hand him his bag, to carry, that kind of stuff. But I mean, I didn't really care. After a while, we got married. And then once we got married, my brother just changed totally. before before we got married, my brother had invited him for a meeting and told him not to marry me because I've been married twice before. I have issues and all that kind of stuff. And then, he had asked me what the issues were. And I said, well, I don't have issues. It's just, I've been married twice. I've been a single mother. I'm kind of like a man already, like, um, so it's not like I have issues. I'm not one person to, be pushed around. So it's not like, and then he was like, he doesn't care. He loves me, At the end of the day, you know how like when you get married, you buy clothes for your husband. You want your husband to look just as good as you look. So I bought like are you out of your mind? Like, did you really purchase that kind of research for him? Don't you know that he will not appreciate it? It's going to get bad. It's going to spoil. This kind of people, you don't start by buying them those kind of gifts. You
Your husband.
Yes. He was like, you start by buying cheap wristwatches first, and then when you see how they use it, that that they don't get it bad, then you can now buy them an expensive wristwatch. So I was just like so taken aback. I was so disappointed. I was like, it was you who led this guy to Christ, like,
led him to Christ, as in, oh, your brother is a pastor.
Yes, my brother is a pastor, and then he led my husband to Christ, and then my husband serves as an usher in their church.
What church is that?
It's called Champion Faith Ministries International. Yeah, Champion Faith Ministries. So my husband was like an usher in the church, and then so I was like, if he's your usher, or if you led him to Christ, I would think that you should be happy that I'm buying things for him. Things are happening for him and stuff like that. And
network, you should be happy that things are happening for him.
Yeah, and then my brother would call me on the phone, like he would really go off. He'll be like, oh, he's so upset because we're posting pictures online. I'm embarrassing him, his status. Don't I know that Daniel is not of his social status, someone that was sleeping in his couch, someone that when he comes from the UK, he'll give him the shirts. Like when he comes to Nigeria, he'll the clothes that he wears during the season. When he's leaving back, he'll give him the clothes. And then he will be thanking him, and worshiping him. And now I'm all over the internet with him, in pictures and stuff like that. And he was super, like, embarrassed. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't help you because he's my husband. And then if I look good, my husband has to look good, stuff like that. And then when we started a school, because I've been building a school for years with my parents, with my dad actually. And then once I started the school, my husband became the chairman of the school. It's a school that has over 200 and something children in that school. And then we have 40 children on scholarship, 100% scholarship, tuition, uniforms, books, everything. Because I'm not in Nigeria, I'm based in the United States. My husband and I decided that for now, he would be in Nigeria to run our businesses, So he's running the school, and the school is growing, and we're having many more kids, enroll, from the streets and stuff. And he's doing an amazing job. And right now we have like 270 something children, and so my brother really got so upset 2 or 3 days ago. He went to the school, and then, the video that was online that went viral, he went to the school, and then he really went off. He threatened the teachers, the students there. He broke my husband's picture on the wall. How can somebody that is sleeping in his couch, become a chairman of his school, of his family property, that he will not tolerate this, that no, he cannot. He really went off. And that's when, we called the police. 2 years ago, I sent you photos of how he physically assaulted me right there in front of my husband. Yes, he did.
How?
He said,
why? Is it more than this?
The truth of the matter is that he feels like my husband is not up to his social status. I remember during my father's funeral, he didn't let my husband sit, in the chair with him because he felt like someone who is, someone who was driving him around, someone who was carrying his bag, will not sit on the high table because I'm the first daughter and he's supposed to be the first son, right? And so, when in Nigeria we do this ashwebi thing where it's like, the children of the deceased would wear the same outfit, right? Right. So he was like, because my husband is not of the same social class with him, he can't sit at the high table. So my husband had to stand. So they didn't let my husband sit at the funeral. It's been a very tough time for me. I'm not gonna lie to you because again, like I said to him, I said that I've been married twice, and on those two occasions, like the first one was because it was arranged and the guy was okay. The second one, the guy is very comfortable.
How?
I mean, like how like parents will introduce you to this person, or this family, that kind of stuff. And then the second one, was, out of like, would I say, desperation to get married, and then maybe for comfort, support or stuff like that, financial support and comfort. But this is the very first time in my entire life that I'm in love with someone, this is the first time that I'm experiencing, love, in its simplicity, love in its, in its genuineness. And it's just unfortunate that I happened to, fall in love with someone who's sleeping in my brother's couch. And for me and my children, because my children have been without a father for so long, the fact that he is there in our lives, like he's like the most amazing father in the world to my children. Like he's there, like he checks their assignments, he spends quality.
Network, your voice is on. Your voice is gone. Yeah, I think a call was coming into your phone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Be careful.
So, okay.
Each time a call comes in, your audio would go. So continue your story.
Yeah. So I'd been alone. I'd been a single mother for so long, very lonely.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
How old is your oldest child?
She's 16.
At 38 with a 16-year-old child.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to be lonely. I get you.
Yeah. I've been lonely for so long, to be honest with you, Daddy Freeze. I've been so alone. And again, in the United States, it's very hard because sometimes you want someone to help you pick your kids up from school. Sometimes you just come home and you just want someone to talk to, someone to tell you, I love you, I miss you, you want text messages, And, sometimes you may have those kind of relationships, but they're not real. It could be for some whatever reason. This guy's relationship, I mean, our connection is deeper than money, is deeper than religion, deeper than anything. He just loves me for who I am. I love him for who he is. Even when I kept asking him, are you sure? Are you sure? I've been married twice, my brother was, trying to convince him that, oh, there's a reason why my sister is not married. There's a reason why, her marriages have failed, but he still insisted, okay, this is the one that I want, and then we've been married now for years. But again, like I said, my brother is just out to get him. The attack on my husband's life 2 days ago really scared me. Like, breaking his pictures, being violent, threatening, harassing, and even after going to the police, he said he's the son of a DIG. There's nothing the police can do. And it's true. When he physically assaulted me in 2022, nothing happened to him.
Wow. Can we hear your brother's side of the story? What's your brother's name?
His name is Fiwuka.
Fiwuka.
Yeah, Pastor
Okay, you
Silva
guys are
or
Igbo.
Pastor Creamy.
Pastor Creamy.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
call him Pastor Creamy.
Pastor
Yeah.
Creamy, we'd like to hear your side of the story for the balance. We want to hear what your side of the story is. Is it because of what you went through that you're covering your head?
I converted to Islam some time ago because, again, and this has not been like, it's been years of like torment, persecution. You know, it's not just been from my brother alone. I think it's, I mean, I cannot wrap my head around the fact that, you know, someone gives their heart to Christ through
So
you.
because
And then,
of your brother, you became a Muslim.
yeah, because of his actions, and again because of other people's actions, because when even through the whole struggle and the persecution and everything, like his pastor never said anything, Christians never said anything. They've watched and seen how my brother has bullied my husband, even online. Like he went to his old school association to go call my husband a gold digger. Even if my husband is a gold digger and is following me for money, as a woman you have to have something to offer. You know, you're getting into a marriage. I feel like, you know, you're not just gonna, I mean, if that's if I've been married twice and I don't have money at my age, and then I'm expecting, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we balance each other out. You know, my strength is his weakness is my strength. And so if I have more money than my husband, what does it matter? So long as we love each other, you know. And then Christians have, you know, they just it's just ridiculous. Like I feel like faith should not be anything, you know, related to money or status. I just think it should be, you know, your belief in God and service to humanity. You know, and so I feel like Christianity doesn't subscribe to that in my own view and from my own perspective. And that's why I converted to Islam. Islam is very simple. When I go in the mosque, there's no drama. You know, everybody, I don't see no gile in the hair, you know, in the sky. I don't see nobody twerking. You know, I just go in there. It's you know, there's reverence. You know, you just do your prayers and you're out. And to be honest, just since I became a Muslim, I've gotten so much support from the Muslim community. Unlike when I was in the Christian community, the Muslim community, like through this whole saga, I've received even much more calls from Muslims, to be honest with you, than I have from Christians. Counseling, support, you know, and you would think like, you know, but because my brother is a pastor, like I said, you know, they give him a pass. It's okay for you to be to you know, to physically assault a person because you're a pastor. It's okay for you to, you know, curse someone out because you're a pastor, you know, all this kind of stuff. And so for me, I think I've gone past, you know, what people are going to say in the Christian community. What I'm looking out for myself, for my children, and for my family. The Muslim community is where I get support and love, and that's why I converted.
Let's talk about your husband. What does he think about your conversion to Islam?
That was a very rude shock to him. He's not converted. He's still a Christian. But he says he loves me regardless because he understands the struggle. Again, I've been married before, twice. Remember, I've already been traumatized. Like I've been going through trauma for a long time. And so I'm already kind of like tired, you know? So when I now got married and I felt like, oh, it's time for me to be happy. It's time for me to rest. I think I've gotten to where I need to rest and be happy. And then, you know, like the book, like the bullying just came from like the wrong, like,
It's okay.
I would think that my brother would be so happy for me, I would think that my brother would be happy for my children. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but like my children have been without a father for so long. Like I would think that my brother would be happy that at least my kids now have a father and I have support. Even if it's fake, let me manage the fakeness. Let me manage the fakeness because I know what it's like to sleep in a bed by yourself and to have issues to deal with and deal with them by yourself. Now I have someone to talk to about these issues. I have someone to care, to say, hey, how are the kids? Like my brother doesn't even ask, how are your kids? Like I've had to do it all by myself. Like nobody cares to say, oh, have your kids eaten? Oh, are your kids in school? Like, oh, you know, nobody cares. So for me to find someone, like he may not have money, but he truly cares. Like he He honestly cares, you know.
Okay. Okay, sis. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Just trying to be strong. Your conversion to Islam and your brother who's a pastor, uh, has it brought any strain to your relationship?
You mean between my brother and
No,
I?
I mean your husband and you and your husband, because your husband is also a
Yes.
pastor, if I...
No. He's not a pastor. He's just a Christian.
Okay, just a
Yeah, just a
Christian.
Christian. He was an usher. Yeah, he's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was an usher. Yeah. It did the first week because I mean, we had those conversations. Because I struggled for a long time. I just kind of like would tell him because I stopped going to church, you know, for a long time, and then we vacationed in Bristol, in the United Kingdom last in June. And I remember telling him, you know, vacation. I was like, I think I'm done with Christianity. I'm tired. I want to serve God, and I don't think Christianity is the way for me because, like, it's all about money. Everything is all about money. Like, it's all about, you know, what you're given. And, you know, I remember like when, you know, every time my marriage would fail, you know, I never really like got any kind of support from the community that I spent so much time, you know, and devotion. And again, I know you're not serving people, you're serving God, but that's where I spent the most of my time, you know, in church. And so when I needed that community, they were not there for me. They were not there for my children, you know, for my girls. And so I just found that I just got more love from the Muslim community. I just got more support from the Muslim community. They don't judge me. They don't, you know, when I go to mosque, they don't ask me, how many times have you been married? You know what I mean? They don't do Happy Father's Day there to embarrass my children, you know, at the mosque.
Sorry, that was funny. Happy Father's Day to embarrass children.
You know,
I'm
all
so
that kind
sorry
of stuff.
about that.
Yeah. So, and again, so it was a rude shock for him when I made that announcement, you know, and I took my shahada. Yeah, when I took my shahada, I did send him the videos. Like, I mean,
what is a shahada? Explain to us non-Muslims, what is a shahada?
Oh my God, I don't think I'm in the right place to explain that.
Okay.
I think it would be nice to have someone who is more, you know, knowledgeable.
Okay.
To really, but it's just, you know, just announcing my faith in Islam.
Oh,
you know.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it did shake him, but we talked about it, and that's what makes us a great couple, because we talk about everything. Like, it doesn't mean that we're perfect, but we sit down and talk about it. And he said he understands. He said he understands that I'm evolving. I'm trying to find myself, you know. Yeah, but he said, just know this. He said, I'm not going to convert. I'm a Christian, but I'll never stop loving you. You know, I know you're going through so much. You know, if this is what makes you happy, I support you. And he insists that the kids remain Christians until they are adults and they're, you know, big enough to make decisions on their own. And I said, that's fine. You know, so he still prays with the kids and, you know, reads the Bible with the kids and all that stuff. But yeah.
Okay. How often do you stay together? Do you live together or?
Yeah, before my brother threatened my life, before my brother broke my head, we were always together. Like, we would live. I stayed more in Nigeria, but after he broke my head, I think I sent you the photos.
Yeah.
My head was stitched. I ran for my life. So yeah, we do.
Pastor Creamy, we'd like to hear your side. What really happened? Your sister says you attacked her and she got injured in the process. We'd like to hear your side of the story. Is this true? For the sake of balance and for the audience to have a balanced narrative.
Yeah. So he attacked me in 2022 because he wanted documents for properties belonging to my dad. My dad had passed in 2022. So 4 days after my dad passed, he had asked me for those documents. And I said, well, I'll give you the documents when we have a family meeting, like when everyone is seated, you know. My dad didn't ask me to give you no documents, you know. But if I'm to provide any documents given to me by my father, I would have to have meeting. I would have to have a meeting with everyone. But he wouldn't wait. So he came, broke the door down, broke into the house, and then broke my head. I had a kettle of hot water. I was going to, because I know in Nigeria you boil water to take a bath. So I was going to the bathroom to go take a bath. I boiled water, and then that's when he attacked me. And so hot water poured on me, hot water poured on his hands. Yes, I'll send you pictures of the hands, like hot water all over my hands. But then he used something to hit me in the head, and that's when I fell, and my head was bleeding, and I was rushed to the hospital. My head was stitched. So when I left Nigeria, you know, I promised never to look back, you know, because I don't know what next he would
Wow.
do. And I thought that would be it. But then 2 days ago, he went to the school to attack. He was looking for my husband. My husband wasn't there. So, but then he broke his pictures on the wall. He attacked the teachers. He harassed and threatened the teachers and the students. He told them, if you come back tomorrow, whatever happens to you, that's your own. And it's on video again. Like I said, we have proof, you know, for these things. I think I sent you a clip or so at some point. So, yeah.
Okay. Do you have any elders in your family who can mediate?
Yes, we do have elders, but unfortunately, what happened was when my dad first passed, the head of the family had invited me. That was the first thing he did, and told me that my brother is not my father's son. That he's my mother's son, but he's not my father's son. And then he said, don't hand any documents to him. Don't do this. Then my father's immediate younger brother, who is a customs controller. He's a controller general of customs. He also said the same thing. He was like, I don't want you to give your brother anything, because it's not your father's.
Wow.
Raised by my father, or whatever it is. So I guess because I didn't heed their advice when they first told me that, you know, I kind of like was saying I wanted us to be united, you know, at the funeral, all that kind of stuff. And so when my brother would turn on me because of my husband, they you know, they're now aloof. They're like, okay, well, deal with it. So nobody's saying anything. And again, you must understand that my husband, so I'm from the north, I'm from Taraba State. My husband is Igbo, you know. Yeah.
Igbo boy.
Yeah, my husband is Igbo. I'm from Taraba State. So I don't know that, you know, I get that support. You know what I mean? Which I'm not going to judge anyone. Again, for me, it's just about, you know, I'm happy in my marriage. That's all that matters to me. The only reason why I'm even talking about my brother is because of the crime and because of the fear for my husband's life. Since he would go there physically to go look for him and, you know, be violent.
Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I don't even know what to say. Oh, so Pastor Creamy, would like to hear your side of the story. What exactly happened? You know, they always say there are three sides to a story: her side, his side, and the truth.
Yeah.
Some will say there are four sides to a story: her and God's side. You can never know what the truth is until you hear both sides.
Yeah. I would like for you to actually speak with Doris, because Doris.
What is the spelling of his Pastor Creamy? Can we? A lot of people are asking the Creamy. How do you spell it?
It's Krimi.
Krimi. Okay, that's like his real name. It's not like Creamy, like creamy.
No.
Creamy milk.
Yeah, that's our family name, Krimi. Yes.
Okay, so you are.
Yes, Magna Faith Creamy.
Magna Faith Creamy. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Pastor Creamy. Okay. So dear Pastor Creamy, would like to hear your side of the story. Because if what your sister is saying is true, then this is not nice. Because if her husband cannot, oops, sorry, a bit of this time it was my network. Earlier on, it was your network. Yes, sorry. I
Okay.
think there was a network problem. You know, we don't
Yeah.
particularly have really good network in this part of the world.
Mm.
So because him not liking your husband because your husband does not have money, to me is that's why I said I want to hear from him. I
Yeah.
want to hear from him. Even if, because I believe, even if you chose an Okada rider as your husband, that's your husband now. Person where they climb you inside bedroom. Abi,
Yeah. Yeah.
Shabi, you they lie down,
Yeah.
your husband they climb on top of you.
Yeah. I was asking my
Uh-huh.
siblings.
So
I
if
was
he can
asking.
do that, then he's your head, no matter how poor he is.
Yeah. Yeah. I was asking. I said, should I make my husband my security guard or my gate man? I have to make him my chairman, the chairman of my company. Whatever belongs to me belongs to my husband. This is someone who loves me and supports my children and loves, you know. I mean, he's like the most humble, amazing man. Like he's the most amazing person I've ever seen in my life. I just told you that he and my brother went to school together. And then when he would take my brother out, he would carry his bag. He would sit in the car. You know what I mean? He's 2 years older than my husband, but like he's super humble. He's an estate surveyor. Like he has a degree. It's not like he's someone that is not educated. He has his degree. You know, he's a hardworking person. It's just like life. You know, sometimes some of our parents pave ways for us. You know, they open doors for us. Like my brother has doors open to him because of my father. You know, it's not because my brother is the most hardworking person in the world. You know, so my husband not having money is because of well, having the kind of money that my brother would expect, so to say, because money again is relative. You know, so long as you have food to eat and you have a roof over your head, contentment is important, you know, and I'm very content with whatever my husband gives me or whatever it is that we have, you know, but because, you know, his parents died early, he didn't have the opportunities that my brother has. And so for my brother to keep looking down on him and keep kind of like bullying him and just kind of like, making him lose his self-esteem. You know how like you talk a man down before his wife and before family members, always talking him down and stuff like that, even online, even, in front of my staff, like he would go there and say, he's a gold digger, all that kind of stuff, it just became too much. It just became too much. But for him to attack him, look for him, and then destroy his property, I just became so afraid at this point.
Mm. Mm. What would you like the police to do for you right now? Now, let's talk about the property. Is the property your brother's property?
No, it's my property, and I have legal documents to show for it. But my
What
dad.
do you mean by legal documents?
So the land was given to me by my dad years ago, even before my dad died. I'd been building that school. It's not today. Like, I've been in that school for a very long time, and I have witnesses, like my dad's, would I say, younger wife, so to say. The day I have $100, I'll send. The day I have $50, like it's not like I'm rich. I work here in the United States. Like, if I have $20, I would send. And then they'll put a block on there. So I've been building that place for years. And once it was, done, we started the school. So it's my property. It's my property, and it's my property.
Give it to me. Let me plug it here. So I'm listening to you, my sister.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sorry. So you said you have legal documents.
Yes, my dad gave me a deed of gift when my mom passed.
Okay.
For the land because he wanted me to do a C of O at the time. So he gave me a deed of gift.
Have
And
you
then when I
done the
was,
C of O?
no, I've not, you'll see it in court. Whatever it is, you'll see it in court. Let me just keep quiet because I don't want to give him ammunition to, you know, because he doesn't. Okay, so here's the deal. The thing is, while I was in the US, right, my father registered companies for me in my name and in his name. I didn't ask him to, you know. And then he encouraged me to build that school. You know, I shipped out computers, about maybe 60 computers to the school.
Ada is asking a very important question. I'm going to pin the question.
Yeah.
Was there a proper handover of the property from your dad to you?
Yes.
Because your brother might claim it to be family property.
Yes, absolutely. There was, and there's documentation to show that.
So you have all the documentation.
Yes.
So if you have all the documentation, why does your brother come to the property?
Exactly. That's why when we went to the police, I was so shocked. I didn't know that's how, in fact, I didn't know that's how Nigeria works. Well, I've known, but like I didn't think it would happen to me, considering that I'm also my father's child, right? I know he's connected. They'll say, okay, DIG's son, right? He's the son of a policeman. But I didn't think they would do it to me too. Like, my businesses, right, have been running on that property for years, right? Even before my dad passed. And so when my dad passed, if he felt like he wanted that property, because there are many other properties. There are properties in Jalingo, in Abuja, in Lagos, you know, Ibadan, you know. If he wanted that particular property, right, he would send me a notice. He would ask the lawyer, you know, I mean, there are ways to go about it, you know, in a civil manner or legally, you know. But he didn't do that. But he went, you know, to the property and harassed teachers and children. Again, if the property doesn't belong to me, if we go to court and the law says give it back, you know, I'll give it back. But then I believe that the right way and the right thing to do is to go through the courts. So if you feel like you know, using that property legally, then sue me to court, you know, or send me a notice or something and I'll respond. But he never did that. He's never sent me any notice. I've not gotten any notice, any letter whatsoever. No injunction, nothing.
How old is your brother?
To be honest with you, I don't know, because he was born before my parents got married.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know his age.
Wow.
But I know, but I know he's in his 40s, because my husband is 46, so he should be 44. At least that's what both of them say. So I don't know.
Okay. Right now, the best thing we can do is hear from both sides of the divide. I'm sorry for what you went through. I saw pictures of your head, you know, and they had to cut your hair to stitch, you know, and I feel really sorry for that. Right now, what do you want? What do you want from the public? What do you want from your brother? What do you want from the law enforcement?
Okay, what I really want from the law enforcement, number one, is an undertaking that my husband's life, you know, will not be taken.